Welcome to Salazar Nation. This is Frank. And in the early weeks of October, which is the month we're currently in of 2025, one of the members of the Toastmasters Club that I belong to, Hub City Toastmasters here in the Rio Grande Valley, they moved back home to their home state, and we threw some get-togethers for her. We had a little going away party, and we also had a tribute on her last meeting here in person. So I did record a little bit of it, not a lot, but here are some snippets of some speeches and some photos that we took that day. So I hope you enjoy. Let's get to the video.
Louisa was driving the car, picking up several of us for the speech contest. Louisa was giving a speech today. We arrived early at the place in Brownsville. Louisa immediately started walking around looking at the wall, not looking at or talking to any of us. Just look at that wall. How many times can you rehearse a speech just looking at a wall? I remember when I ran for District 19 governor in Iowa in 1986. I knew to be friendly and smile to everyone, and I got it. I told Louisa that she needed to be friendly and smile at everyone, or the judges would not vote for her. She started to smile, and just look at her smile now. Okay. All right. Well, I want to thank everyone, and I had a little note I wanted to say. I thank God that He gave me these healthy retirement years to spend with these wonderful people in Texas. That's what I can tell you.
I'm not going to cry because I'm going to be with you in a few days on an airplane headed to Des Moines. So, I recall the first Toastmaster meeting here in FAR, and it was because of Phyllis that I realized there was a Toastmaster meeting. I had been in Toastmasters, I think the last year was 1993, when my job no longer offered it. And I made a mistake of not finding another Toastmaster club for about 20-some years. I remember walking into the library, and right there on the door, there was that big yellow sign that said, "Join Toastmasters." And I remember just how much fun I had, and I said, yes, I've got to join Toastmasters. I remember walking into the room, and everybody, excluding myself, there had gray hair. And I went, oh, what am I going to do with all these old people? I can't join this club. I need to find a club with young people. The meeting went on. I had a really good time. And true to fashion, as I stood up to leave, this one right here has an application in her hand and says, "Here's your application. Fill it out. Come back, and we'll see you next Wednesday." And I did show up again next Wednesday, and I did join. And when I hear the word pioneer, I think of Phyllis, because if you stop and think, in 1973, that was the first year that Toastmasters allowed women. It was an all-men's club. So in 1978, just 5 years later, this lady joined Toastmasters. She had an extreme fear of public speaking, was so nervous to get in front of an audience or board members, if I recall correctly. Her boss told her she was going to have to give the minute to the meeting, and she about had a heart attack. But because she persevered, because she stuck with it, she actually came down and brought Toastmasters down here to the valley. And for that, I am so grateful, because had it not been for her, I never would have made it to the world stage. travel all over the world now. Last night, 1 in the morning, I was speaking to 15 people in Australia for 2 hours. And we had a really good time on Zoom. And this is exactly what I love to do. So I owe so much gratitude to this woman because she's actually allowing me to not only dream my dream, but live my dream. Getting on airplanes, traveling, getting on stages, trying to inspire and motivate. It's all because of you, Phyllis. And I will forever, ever be grateful for that.
Thank you.
When you talk about that, because one of the things that I wanted to do in life was to be able to get up in front of a group. And the only people I had to help me was like Eleanor Roosevelt.
Yes.
And she spoke, but I never heard anybody else, woman speak except teachers. And they weren't very good at that time in being interesting and everything. But that was what I wanted. And then I was in the girls club, and that helped me. The reason I was going to be president of the girls, and that's one of the reasons I got into Toastmasters. But I was only going to be in for 2 years, because as soon as my 2 years was over in the girls.
There's one thing I've learned about myself. I am subservient. I love helping other people. I love doing stuff for other people. I love being there and being someone that you can depend on. That's all I've ever wanted to be. And when I came to Toastmasters the second time, which was in 2013, I walked into that room, and it was because of Phyllis. Phyllis came down from Des Moines, Iowa with her husband. They did square dancing. They had friends down here. They loved traveling here in the winter because they didn't want to shovel snow. I don't blame them. I thought it was kind of cute the other day that I went over to visit her, and she said, it was really cold last night here. And I said, and you're moving back to Iowa, Phyllis? Have we thought this through? I recall coming into the room, and Phyllis was the first one to greet me, as she always is. Smile on her face, warm, kind.
That was just a little bit of what we did for Phyllis, and a lot of good speeches. I only recorded some of them, and I'm going to miss her here in person, but I know I'll still be seeing her in our Zoom meetings. Hope you enjoy Iowa, Phyllis. This has been Trank Salazar. See you next time.